So not exactly sure how the wind is going to hold up, but I thought I would try and show you the trail I'm getting ready to hike on because I'm super excited about it. It looks very kind of fairy tale-ish. It has some winding pathways down here, down this hillside and kind of into a creek bed. Anyhow, wanted to share the last couple of days have been interesting in that yesterday I went out and got one of my favorite beers and just kind of hung out. Enjoyed the afternoon, was kind of contemplating, thinking, rereading a book. And there's something about spring days that I love them and I love being out in them. Um, and so I felt the desire to get some pot and smoke that. And that was really fun. And so it was so fun that I'm doing it again today. But the reason why I'm recording this video is because this is the thing that's been a big journey with me and something that's caused a lot of like mental and psychological strife in that I've felt like I gave weed power over me in that treating it like an addiction and feeling like I couldn't get out from underneath it, and then beating myself up about that and about the way I would behave, the way I would act, the thoughts that would go through about my head that I would give airtime to that would just pummel me from side to side or make me feel like a piece of shit, and then I would see that reflected back to me in some of my interactions or in comments people would make, etc. The way I was reflecting back to myself, essentially. Anyhow, it's a long story, and it's definitely something that hasn't always been fun, but it's been an amazing teacher in the sense that I did an experiment a couple years back, both with sex and with drugs, and decided to finally just kind of give in whole hog to these impulses that I felt inside that didn't seem to go away and that felt good at times when I engaged them. And then some other times they didn't quite feel energetically as good if they were becoming more demands and not just seeking of joy and exploration, if that makes sense. When your sexual impulses start to take you over, or when your escape from reality or exploration of reality, like in drugs, also takes you over, or whatever addiction it may be for you to distract yourself from your reality, be it shopping or work or exercise or relationship or you name it. There's so many other ways. But whatever that is for you in your journey, I know that it can be rough and it can be a real struggle at times. I also know too, one thing I really frustrated me as I was going through everything is it was kind of rare and in between that you'd find spiritual teachers that would actually kind of acknowledge the human side of the journey. For so long, it's been like getting away from the body and getting out of the human part, of denying the human part, trying to almost divorce yourself from the human part. But as I found, as I gave myself this experiment to just go whole hog and kind of give over to these things, and also to engage with it in a sense of trying not to judge myself along the way, so giving myself freedom to just explore them and explore them for a period of time and then kind of do an evaluation afterwards, if you will. What was so cool though about that is in that space of just exploring them without the judgment for once, is I actually got to just experience the experiences. I had one of my most intense just self-love experiences where I felt love kind of come out of my chest and back into me, like this really palpable physical sensation of loving myself really deeply for maybe the first time. I don't know, but it was very, very, I felt it. It was a milestone experience. And then there was the coming out of these things with the initial stages of starting to accept them and actually integrate them into your total being, that they are components of you, aspects of you, explorations you like to try, enjoy, things that you may try for a period of time, things you may do for quite a while, things you may do once and be done with. You don't know, but it's all exploration. It's all experience. That's what spirit's about. That's what the divine is about. It just wants to experience. It just wants to live life finally. Can you imagine for how many thousands at least of years that the divine, the spirit, this thing within us that's, the impulse to have sex in the backseat and to dance our ass off at the prom, or when we want to just stick up a side like against the wall like a wallflower, like it's all of this impulse to live that just courses through us and that wants expression and wants to emerge out of us. But we're so wrapped up in our own BS and then society's BS, and we think we have to act certain ways and we have to behave certain ways, and there's so many social norms and mores and all the rest of it to where you just want to scream, right? And so you've got to start releasing all that stuff and just listening more and more and more to this thing inside of you that will talk to you and will open up to you. But you've got to, it's a relationship, and you got to put the time in to get still enough to hear it and to spend time with it. Just like if you were, imagine dating yourself, right? In the sense of, if you're going to date yourself, what would you do? You would actually do the things that you would do with another person, which, what's that look like? It's spending time with them. It's thinking about them, right? It's that feeling when you can't think of hardly anything else but them. It's like when you're just wanting to get off work and race home to them. It's when you're thinking about, oh, we could do this, or we could do this, or what if we did this? And there, it's just like that stream of love that kicks in that has all this energy behind it to where you just feel absolutely wired, right? Well, imagine having that for yourself, and it's so good. It's so transformative. And so another piece that this giving yourself space to explore your desires and your impulses, another thing that does for you is, you can explore them in non-judgment, which leads to acceptance, like I mentioned before. But also, two, you can actually start to integrate, or at least what happened for me was I started to, hopefully this won't be too loud windy wise, it's been really windy here today, last couple of days, last week. You can actually start to, or what happened for me is I started to integrate the masculine and the feminine. So I started to actually incorporate or allow in what I would consider more of the feminine kind of energy of my being, which some of that I'd been doing for a little bit in time and trying to open back up to my emotions and to my feeling side of my being. But some of this was more actual physical expression, like it wanted movement in the body certain ways. It wanted, to like accentuate parts of the body different than the masculine energy felt like it wanted to. And so it was really interesting to first feel that coming on, because it was really disorienting. I hadn't really had that in my life, or just hadn't, I guess, given over to it if I had really strong impulses that way at times. But I don't really think I do. I think it just kind of all set in. Anyhow, feeling that come on, like I said, was really disorienting. But over time, over these last 3-ish years roughly that it's been, as that's come on more and more, and I've learned to accept that more and more, and then to embrace that more and more, it's been the most amazing thing to feel the love affair between the masculine and the feminine kick up back inside of you, to where it's like this eternal spiral of adoration and love that these two energies or components of your being have for each other. It's just incredible, right? So maybe another point in time I'll talk about the masculine and feminine, but yeah, I think I'll let this go because I'm going to start just dribbling now. And it's a great day, and I want to get back to my walk. All right, bye. So I got to a little bit of a less windy spot. I thought it may be best to also record a little bit of a disclaimer or disclosure, kind of a Surgeon General's warning that I'm going to insert in a certain section of the video I recorded earlier. And that's, yes, I did an experiment and gave over whole hog to my impulses, as I said before, and really just kind of let loose and let myself explore them without the shame and without the guilt, without the judgment, in a space of kind of freedom and non-judgment for the first time. However, that should come with a big disclaimer, a big watch out, because part of the after effects, or part of that experience as it unfolded, was a complete unraveling of my present or what was my psyche, my understanding of myself, the way I thought about myself, the way I perceived myself, the way I even understood myself to be as a being type thing. Just a complete dismantling of that and reconstruction of that. So it also involved, honestly, a lot of time being aware of your consciousness when you've had it up, like when you've vibed high for quite a while, you start to feel that, and that's how you kind of normally your groove, your rut, if you will. And so if you teeter off of that, and not to say that that doesn't happen or that there can't be fun in those experiences as well, it's all an experience. There's wisdom to be reaped everywhere, from every experience. But what starts to happen is you can tell when your consciousness shifts, and more specifically, you can tell when your consciousness shifts and lowers. And if you stay there for a period of time, because then it's almost like you're just suppressing yourself underwater, or you're just not getting full breaths of life, if you will, or air. It's like living half full or half on. Anyhow, um, part of that experience for me, so the big disclaimer I would throw out there is, it involved wallowing in some really low consciousness frequencies for quite a while, and at times feeling like I possibly couldn't get out of them, like I'd gotten myself stuck, or just gotten to that. If you've ever been in an addiction and you've been to that brink where you don't know if you're going to go over the edge and not come back, like that feeling. There were several of those along the way, and uh, just that living from day in and day out for a period of time, be it a few days, be it weeks, be it months or years or whatever your game is. But that period of living in that really low consciousness state is just excruciating, because at that point that you could be experiencing more. That you could be more expansive, more joyous. Things could be lighter, easier for you, that you could just be kind of skipping through life, so to speak. And by the way, I notice I say "so to speak" a lot, so I'm going to try to kind of cut that out of my vernacular. Um, and ums too, as well, as I watch my videos. As I'm the only one watching my videos right now, anyways. So, big disclaimer, it involved for me a complete psychological dismantling and reconstruction of myself, my psyche, the notion I had of myself, this letting in of the divine and what that actually looked like. It's so different from the human experience that the human consciousness, that it's been really interesting. I'll have to talk about that another time, to let that in and actually give that airtime and space to live through you, and surrender into that more and more and more, so that it can each and every moment and can be your constant companion with you as you enjoy life. Yes, a big disclaimer. Yes, give in to your desires and impulses if you want to take on that experiment, but no, it comes with some seriousness. So don't do it lightly, and make sure you're up for the challenge, I guess. It's a big warning, big disclaimer. You can't put that back on me. So you've been forewarned. Cheers. Look at this. I just found this spot. I'm taking kind of a mid hike, or getting ready to turn around, taking a little break. But there's this nice little seating area, kind of running back up alongside where I came from. And then down over there, way over the cliff, you can see it, a little creek and stream kind of running through things, just moseying on by. So I'm just kind of hanging out, chilling, and I really want to beat off, but I don't know that I want to get caught. And I know where my trailhead started a while back, but I don't know where any other of the trailheads start and lead into here, as I haven't really been in here before, so I'll probably hold off on that maybe.